Okay. Take a comfortable seat to start. Nice and tall through the spine. Turn your eye gaze low or close the eyes. Today to start, place a hand over belly, a hand over heart. And feel the connection, the energy of the breath here from lower hand to top hand. If you took the opportunity to take yesterday's 45-minute class, this class is an expansion of that. So we're linking poses today in a vinyasa flow. I've felt the drive to really lean into the movement and the rhythm of the physical asana practice this week as a way to sort of release or shut off a little too much of the monkey mind. So I hope the intention of this continuous flow, building one pose into the next, helps you in what you're working with this week. Notice here with hand at belly, hand at heart, just the general motion of the spine. We tend to have easier movement in the low back, greater range of motion in the neck, less range in the sacrum and in the upper back. So today's practice is a way of honoring those different waves of the spine while also calling each into balance with each other. So where we might have more flexibility, we're looking to stabilize. Where we tend to already be stable, we're looking to open today. And that all will work around Revolved triangle pose. Take the hands to the knees now and do an exaggerated cat and cow from your seat. Lift the chest, let the head move back. Exhale, round the back, let the neck tuck down, back and forth. And then from that big exaggeration of movement back and forth, can you stabilize a little bit more into the belly? So if you come to a neutral spine and kind of stabilize and breathe belly button back in towards the spine, but then still try to open the chin and chest a little bit and lift. And then as you round, drop the head, but don't let it go all the way rounded in the shoulders, just about halfway. And open up cat and cow like that. We'll work a little bit more with that presence of continuous stability in the core today to balance out the opening in the upper back. Okay, from there, as you're ready, open the eyes and move on over to all fours, where we'll continue that movement. So maybe exaggerate first, let the belly drop all the way down like you probably typically do in cow. Wag a little side to side. And then press down through hands and knees around the back. Drop the head. Do as big of an arch as you can. As you come back to a neutral spine, tone the abdomen so it only drops maybe 25% of the way, but you still can pull the chest way forward, kind of press down through the hands and pull the heel of the hand back. Yeah? Keep at least half of that pulling back of the hand, and now round the spine again. Maybe you look down towards your hands rather than to the knees, that sort of thing. And do it a couple of times like that. It's just kind of finding the way. It's still a full effort, but the movement has less exaggeration from one end to the other. Okay, and then downward facing dog. Tuck the toes and lift the hips. Way up and back. As you press the hands down and forward, lengthen the spine. Every time you feel yourself in this lengthened spine, we're going to call that the cow pose today. So you're still pressing the hands down, kind of barely pulling the heel of the hand back. Maybe even look forward at your hands while still in downward facing dog for a moment. Big breath. Find the full stretch. Release the head. Lower back down to the knees and then swing the right foot forward. Both hands to the inside of the foot. Lift the right hand up to the sky. So a twisted lunge, but with the back knee down. Okay, this is a little different action, but you'll get used to it through this hour. Heel toe your right foot just a tiny bit out to the side. And it's like you're trying to sit on your left hip and kind of rainbow curve the right hand back towards your left foot. Left knee can be more bent or more of a straight leg. Like I can get one side straight and the other side I have to keep quite bent, that sort of thing. And then rainbow it back around. Drop the hands again to the inside and lift the back knee up. So this is really the one action today that we repeat over and over that's new. Lift the right hand again up towards the sky. And then turning to the edges of your feet, try to rotate hips lower and reach back, right hand to the left leg. Play with it a little there. I'm calling this a sunset lunge. And then bring it all the way back in. Okay? Come around to all fours. Let's practice it on the other side. As a way of sort of warming up for this practice. So left foot forward, right knee stays down onto the ground, and left hand up to the sky. And the sunset lunge will become a part of the flow, and you can always take it out and just keep this twisted lunge a little bit longer. Okay, and then keeping the right knee down, heel toe the left foot out. I'm going to sit on the right hip. I say sit on it, but mine is still quite a bit in the air. Weight onto the right hand. And then you come back around. Lift the back knee up. And we'll try it again here with the back knee up. So then left hand again goes high. And now you're just turning to the outer edge of both feet as you look back, left hand towards the right heel. Sunset lunge. Hips sit as low to the mat as works. Okay? Bring it all back in. Downward facing dog. So that's the new movement we'll play with as we move through class today. Pedal out the feet. Lower the knees down to the mat. Do child's pose with knees wide, big toes together. And then take the right arm under the left in a twisted child's pose. Release the right hand, take the left arm underneath. Same thing, second side. Hips can always be higher in the air here if this low twist doesn't feel good. Okay, and then come back through. And I want to put this other piece of the pie together for us in terms of the vinyasa that I will teach today, and you find your way with it. So we go back to cat and cow. That big exaggeration. And then stabilize in the core a little bit more. Drag back on the hands. So there's less exaggeration in the movement of the low back, but a good amount of change in the upper back. And then you keep that exaggeration towards cow, and we're going 8-point pose today, which means tuck the toes, and it's toes, knees, chest, and chin, but the hips hover, and the chin really does hover a tiny bit off the ground as well. So instead of chaturanga, we're doing knees, chest, chin, totally different aim. Come forward to cobra. And then you push back to cat pose. Tuck the toes, lift your knees off of the ground. Push your hips back towards your heels. It's like a squatted downward facing dog. Think long spine, so we're calling it cow squat. And then do downward dog. Let's try it one more time. Come forward to plank. Knees, chest, chin. Keep the hover of the hips like a little grasshopper. And then pull through for cobra. You can go all the way to up dog if that's suiting your practice today. And then cat pose into cow squat to downward facing dog. Look to your hands and walk your feet to the front end of the yoga mat. And hang, ragdoll, hold on to your elbows. Feel a sense of heaviness in your upper body. So there's enough newness and enough to sort of memorize here with the flow to turn the brain on to the physical pieces of the practice. We begin right there as our entryway for this day. Roll up to standing. Roll the shoulders up and back a couple of times. And now begins the practice of yoga. Atha Yoga Dansasanam. Okay. Inhale, lift the arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Step back to plank. Knees, chest, chin. Cobra. Cat. Cow squat, downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up into the air, three-legged dog. Pull your knee to the chest, round your back. Do your biggest cat curl that you possibly can. Now keep that stabilization in the core, but look a little forward. So you have to start to open up through the chest and shoulders. And as you do that, step the right foot through to your lunge. Lift the right arm up to the sky in your twisted lunge. Now here's where you play with the sunset lunge. Come to the side edges of your feet. Use the back knee as you wish. And come back around to your low lunge. with feet still hip distance apart so that there's balance. Come upright, high lunge, both arms to the sky. Now I've been imagining that I'm holding a big orb or ball of light here and drag it right into the place of the heart, the chest. Keeping that strong in the core. You've pulled the light into you. Yeah? Then open it up, expand. So you keep that stabilization in the core as you open in the upper body. We worked with lots of back bends last month, so letting that come in. And then send the light back up. Hands down to the ground. Step back to plank. Knees, chest, chin. Cobra. Cat. Cow squat. Downward facing dog. Left leg high. Step it all the way through. Ooh, sorry. Hug and hover. That strength in the belly. Look forward a little bit. Open up the upper back as you step through. That's it. Left leg high, or left arm high. Sunset lunge. Look back at the left foot. Come back around and come up to your high lunge. Hands to the sky. Grab the light. Pull stabilizing light into you. Keep that strength in the core and open up. Show it off. Extend the arms back up to the sky. Lower down each side of the front foot. Step back to downward facing dog. Downward facing dog now. Couple of breaths. Look forward to your hands. Step or jump to the front end of the yoga mat. Inhale, half lift. Forward fold. Stand, reach the arms to the sky. Palms together, center of the chest. All right, so we're building on from here. If the sunset lunge or if the vinyasa flow series from 8 points through to down dog doesn't work and you want to find your different substitution, that is fine. Half lift. Step back to plank. I'm saying that because I know those are the points where I sometimes am over it. 8-point pose. But also just trying to get into a rhythm that works for you. Into cobra. Cat. To the squat. Down dog. Lift the right leg high. Knee to chest. Hover forward and step through. Right hand goes high. So like a dance combination, we'll build this up. Keep repeating all the things that came before. Sunset lunge to high lunge. So you get lots of opportunity to practice. Pull the light in. Send it back out. Twist. Take the left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. Toe and turn the abdomen. Both the high lunge and this twisted lunge could be done with back knee down instead of up to find a little more stabilizing practice. Okay, listen up as you untwist. Reach your right hand as far as you can out in front. Right foot forward, right hand reaches forward. Try to change the weight more into the right leg so that you have freedom to rotate the back foot flat against the mat. And then come up to warrior two. Cartwheel the hands back down around the front foot. Step through plank. So it's your flow or with me to meet in down dog. 8 points. Cobra. Cat. Squat to dog. Left leg up. Pull knee to chest, step it all the way through. Left hand high. You can stay there a few more breaths or try that sunset lunge. Reach the left hand back towards the right foot. Everyone comes around to high lunge. With the light, with the back bend. Push it on back up. And move into the twist. Right elbow to the outside of the left thigh. So each time we add on, we're going to slow it down a little bit. See it as the pose all on its own. Tone and turn. Think long through the spine. So belly gets that stabilization by literally pressing against the thigh. And use that pressure against the thigh to give you more length through the spine for the extension. Untwist, reach the left hand super far forward, enough so that most of your weight is in the front leg to free up room to move in the back leg. Right heel spins down to the mat. And then like cartwheel the arms up, warrior two. Bend the left knee a lot. Look out over the left fingertips. Nicely done. Lower the hands down. Step backwards to dog pose. Give it a few breaths here. You can always find stillness or a little more pedaling out through the feet. Look to your hands. Make your way forward. Half lift. Forward fold, stand up, lift. Palms together, center of the chest. So I'm gonna add something to the beginning and something to the end. Standing back bend, arms up high, little bend in the knees. Think strong in the abdomen as you pull the light again right above the chest. Almost feeling the warmth and energy right above the chest. Open up into your standing back bend. Don't let the neck drop back. That's too much. Remember, stabilize in belly and neck. Open. Find room in the upper back. And then send it back to neutral. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Step back to plank. It's your flow first. Move at your own pace. Everyone to downward facing dog. Right side, lift the right leg up. All the way step through. Revolved lunge is right hand high. Into sunset. High lunge. Allow the repetition to be the best teacher here today. Lunge with the back bend. Send the arms back high, add the twist, left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. Untwist, reach the right hand forward. Travel more weight forward to free up space to change in the back leg. Warrior two, come upright. Straighten the right leg, lift the right arm up to the sky. Two straight arms, two straight legs here. Revolved triangle pose, don't think too much about it. Take the left hand down to the floor, right hand up to the sky. Maneuver a bit through arms, legs. Use straight or bent limbs, kind of find your way. Revolved triangle pose. And then lower the right hand down. Step back, down dog. Forward to plank. Your unique flow. If you're joining me, it's 8-point pose to cobra, cat, to cow squat, to down dog. All right, so we know what's coming up. Left leg high. Step it all the way forward. Right hand stays down. Lift the left hand and the twist. Into the sunset. High lunge, back knee can be down to make this more stable if you're feeling that's what can bring in that stabilization in the core. Draw the light, open up. Hands up, come into the twist. Untwist, reach the left arm out. So weight can go into the front foot, spin the back heel down, open to warrior two, bend the left knee a lot. Straighten the left leg, lift the left arm to the sky. Think back bend again. Revolve triangle pose. We kind of cartwheel the hands, change hips, legs a little bit. Reach the right hand down, kind of play with it a little bit. Bend, straighten the standing leg. Find your way, left arm up. Lower the left hand down. Step back to downward facing dog. Here's the good news, that's our full flow, and we have a few more rotations of it to keep turning off the monkey mind and stay really rhythmically in the body and see how the repetition comes to us. Palms together, center of the chest here. Lift the arms. Standing back bend. Bend the knees, pull strength, stabilization to the core. Keep that as you open. Standing back bend. Send the arms all the way back up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, half lift. Step back to plank. Your flow. Again, joining me, 8-point pose to cobra, cat, cow squat, to hips high and down dog. Everyone, right leg high. Step it forward to the lunge. Lift the right hand and revolved lunge. Stay there or add the sunset. Unwind. Lift to your standing lunge. Pull the light in, stabilize, open out. Back to neutral spine, arms overhead. Take that into a hinge. Use the length of the spine to twist. Warmth of the movement, repetitive motion, helping us out today. Right hand long in front. Spin back heel down, come up to warrior two. Calling this one exalted warrior. Straighten the right leg, lift the right hand. Now as the hands cartwheel, left hand down, I've got a change in my feet. I'm kind of heel toeing in through the back leg a little bit. This time trying the pinky toe side of the foot. Repetition, not letting us get stuck in the way the pose happens just the first time. Lower both hands down, step back to plank or down dog. And then move through your flow. 8 points. Cobra. Cat. Cow squat. Long spine. Down dog. Left leg high. Step it all the way forward. Revolved lunge, left hand high. Turn to the edges of the feet. Sunset lunge. High lunge. High lunge with the back bend. Free up the head enough, neck enough, chin lifted to give you the space to open. Ooh, come into the twist. Untwist left hand long in front so you get that full reach of the spine to work with. Back heel down, come upright. Warrior two. Y'all are looking lovely in this flow. Straighten the left leg, lift the left arm. Don't feel stuck in your movement. Move how you need to get into twisted triangle. Pavrita Trikonasana, right hand down, left hand high. Body warm, breath moving. And downward facing dog. Look forward to the hands. Move forward. As ever, a step, jump, or a walk. Inhale, half lift. Forward fold. Stand, arms to the sky. Palms together, center of the chest. Guess what, my friends? One more time through. Lift the arms. Standing back bend, pull the orb in, open up to it. Extend the arms, exhale, fold forward. Half lift. Plank pose. Lower down, knees, chest, chin. Pull through cobra, your belly down, back bend there. Into cat pose, cow squat, downward facing dog. Lift the right leg high, step it all the way through. Think half a breath on each move this last time around. Right hand high, right into the sunset. High lunge. Add the orb and the opening into your twist. Things in motion, stay in motion. Right hand long, spin back heel down. Warrior two. Straighten the right leg, lift the right arm. Revolve triangle pose. Back to downward facing dog. Inhale forward to plank. Your flow. Knees, chest, chin, if you're with me, to cobra, cat, into the squat cow, down dog. Everyone, left leg high, step it through, add the twist. Now if your rhythm, a little faster, a little slower, feel free. Stay with your own pace. The sunset goes into the high lunge and into the high lunge with the back bend and into the twist. Long reach, warrior two. Exalted lift. Revolve triangle. Downward facing dog. Nice sigh, a couple of exhale breaths here. Big change in pace from last week. See how the body is responding right now. We're going to let this flow end right here. So knees down to the mat, sit back in child's pose. And then come back up to all fours. Place the right knee behind the right wrist, heel towards the left hip like pigeon. Walk your left leg back. Try to keep the hips balanced. They don't have to go all the way down to the floor. We're trying to be lifted in the torso. That same sense of stability in the core, fluidity in the upper back. If there's space for you, take the arms up. Grab that energy orb of light, pull it in. I sort of envision, what do I want to do with this now? What do I need to give back out? And into that, open. Sometimes it's I need to let it go. Compassion for self, compassion for others, whatever it might be. And then come to sleeping pigeon, forearms down to the mat. Untuck the back toes if they were tucked. We'll be here for 6 breaths. If it's better for you to change and lie on your back in a figure 4 shape to get the same stretch in the outer hip, feel free to change it up. Walk back up to the hands. Find your way to all fours or down dog to transition. Transition left knee forward, heel towards the right side. Okay, so the first half is less about the hip stretch, more about creating that balance of stabilization and fluidity in the upper body. So like for me, this side, my hips are really high and I'm not getting a stretch, but they are keeping me stable so I can do the rest of the work of the pose. So stay with that, get strong in the core, lift the arms, pull in the back bend. Of course, any of these before stages are bus stops. And then you come forward down to the sleepy pigeon. Down to forearms or forehead. And that's maybe where you can relax into the legs a little bit more and find a more depth of a stretch in the hip. Again, you can stay forward in your sleeping pigeon or change to your back here. And slowly walk yourself back up, everyone, into our last downward facing dog. For this last dog of class, separate the feet as wide as your yoga mat. Maybe even shorten the stance a little bit to get the full stretch through the back of the legs. Knees down to the mat. Setting up for camel pose, Ustrasana. So with either feet flat, if you have that greater range of motion, or a little bit more help is keep the toes tucked because the heels will be higher, and then come up to kneeling. If the knees are bothering you and you need more padding, please fold your mat over here. Hands behind you, grab the strength of your butt in your hands, squeeze the elbows in, think strong in the core, open lift across the chest, chin lifts without dropping the head back. As you press the hips a little bit more forward and curl over the upper back, reach the right hand to the right heel. Good, stop there or add left hand to the left heel. The hips probably want to dip back. Once you have the hold, try to push them more forward. The more that the shoulders open, the more the chin should lift, keeping it all in balance with one another. If you're on tuck toes and know that you can untuck, give it a try. Ustrasana. As carefully as you went in, come out, walk the hands to the waist. Neutral spine. To neutralize this one, I like Virasana, hero pose. Sit back on the heels and then fold the torso over so it's a very closed in child's pose. Hands back towards your feet so the shoulders can kind of round and drop forward, allowing for more of that release in the belly now and the exaggeration of the upper back curving forward and down. Crawl all the way down to your belly. This one's yogi's choice for any belly down back bend, meaning spinal extension, low back strengthener that you'd like. It could be Sphinx pose if you're looking for something a little softer right now. Could be our belly down back bends where we reach our hands back or bend both knees, hold on to your feet and bow pose, Dhanurasana. Like, what has the practice opened you for? Stay in your pose for a few more breaths, hoping for the expression of balance and openness. And then lower it all the way down and roll over onto your back. Hi, Bodhi. As you roll to lie down onto your back, hug the knees into your chest. So I was thinking about this the other day. It's kind of like revolved triangle pose, upside down. Take the feet straight up, hands straight up. You'll see what I mean here. Inhale, lift the head and shoulders up. And then we scissor the legs. Keep the right leg lifted. Drop your left leg down. And then it's that twist. Reach the hands towards the right side. Tons of stabilization work while you're still trying to lengthen and open through the upper body. And then come back to the center. So this one's slow. Lower the right leg down. You've got that scissor of the legs, just like they do in triangle pose, or revolved triangle, I should say. And you're leaning over towards the left side. Your left ribs want to go down. Remember, because we're thinking extension, try to lift them up off of the mat. Come back to the center. Do it one more time. Drop left leg down, lean to the right. Back to the center. Drop right leg down, lean to the left. Back to the center. Hug the knees into your chest. Let the head and shoulders relax down. Rock from side to side. And take the hands out to the T. Drop both knees over towards the right. Your supine twist. This is another expression of that revolved triangle pose. Extend the left leg, top leg, and try to hold on right hand to the outer foot. Still working, and one a little bit more. Try to extend the right leg down along the long edge of your yoga mat. Unfurl everything back to your center and let both knees fall over towards the second side. Remembering these are all different bus stops. You get off at the right stop for you. Extend the right leg straight. Hold on to the outside of the foot. Extend the left leg straight along the long edge of your yoga mat. Uncurl it all. Take knees back into the chest. Great time here for happy baby. Hold on to the outside of your feet with the arms on the inside. And set the soles of the feet down onto the mat. One more back bend. Bridge pose. Brush the fingertips to the heels. Press down through your feet, shoulders, back of the head. This for sure is where we can see those exaggerations of the spine. Neck should stay curved away from the mat. Low back is curved away from the mat. But if that's 100% of curve here, let's lessen it by 50%. Like just belly button a little bit into the spine. There's still some room to slide my hand under low back or under neck. We want to keep that sense of alignment, but just bringing a little more balance to the equation, and then from there, lift up, bridge pose. Beautifully done. Lower the hips down. Last pose, yogi's choice. You can take shoulder stand, a variation of shoulder stand. Perhaps Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees out as you lie back. Any last pose that helps to balance this practice. And then no rush, but find your way to your final pose of stillness. You can stay lying back, Shavasana with arms and legs extended. Of course, full allowance to be on your side, a seated position, any way that works for you. The rhythm and movement of the practice really helped you turn off the monkey mind, stay in the rhythm of watching your breath here. Stay with your time of stillness for about 6 more full breaths. And then ever so slowly, a little bit of movement comes back in, attention to that movement and breath together. Make your way to a seated position if not already. Place hand back to belly and hand to heart, just like we started. Notice what you notice. As a way of honoring this practice and allowing us to take the gifts, the lessons, the easy and the hard of the practice into the rest of the day. We'll close in the sound of Om. As ever, you're welcome to sing along, to listen, or to tune it out. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Namaste. Okay, I see at the